What is up, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Today, I'll be doing a different video than I normally do. I won't be doing a pickups video, but rather a review of the movie M3gan. And I'll be discussing my thoughts and opinions about that movie. So, if you don't want anything spoiled from that movie, I would suggest you click off right now because I'll be doing a deep dive into what I think. So, if you don't know, M3gan is about this girl who lost her parents and she got transferred protective custody to her aunt. And her aunt is kind of like a designer and coder for a toy company. And what she does is she creates a robot, an AI called M3gan, to help the niece from emotional and physical damage, whatever the cost. And so I saw the trailer before I saw this movie, and I thought it was kind of stupid, but also great at the same time. But the thing is, it's very predictive. I knew exactly what I was getting into. When they said the line in the trailer, your job is to protect this niece from emotional and physical damage at whatever cost. And when they said at whatever cost, that's instantly a red flag to say, well, she's going to kill. Because an AI doesn't know right from wrong and doesn't know kind of like human nature in general. And this is kind of problem with robot movies is that they don't have human nature. They can't decide human life from another and decide what kind of the boundaries are. And so basically, I forgot what the aunt, her name's called, and the niece. I'm just going to call her aunt and niece because I just forgot. Anyways, the aunt is so oblivious to everything. I mean, she wanted to create a product to help, yes, but she created it without any boundaries at all. She's like, okay, let's just code this thing. I'm going to create no boundaries at all. And she basically has a free will, and I'll think about it later. And so basically throughout the movie, there are many dilemmas with an AI. And I have seen this throughout multiple movies, including like iRobot, RoboCop, Black Mirror. I have seen it many times done before where an AI has implications of destroying a human because they only care about one thing. So basically what M3gan did was her job in the beginning. She protected, and throughout the whole movie, is emotional and physical harm. So in the movie, for example, there is a bully who went in and kind of hurt. I think the daughter's name is Alice, so I'm just going to call her Alice. And so the bully hurt Alice, and so M3gan decided to actually unintentionally kill him. And so that was kind of a dilemma because she doesn't know the right between right and wrong, and she doesn't know the concept of death. And so throughout the movie, it was very vague, and I kind of understood why it's like, oh, did you kill her? It's like, I don't know what death is. I don't know how to kill someone. So that was very interesting. But going back to the aunt, she set no requirements and no boundaries on M3gan. And so therefore she could do whatever she wants. Therefore kill that bully. But also there's also the dilemma of an AI where they talk about how it replaces the idea of a parent. How in the AI will be able to record everything and fully listen to the kid rather than an adult because it takes place over the adult. So basically, if an adult wants to connect with their child, they can't because the child is connected to the robot, and it cuts out the middleman. And so basically, that was the whole point in M3gan is that they created this toy for the kid to fully trust, and yet the parent kind of doesn't have to do anything. So those are two main issues: that no boundaries, and it destroys the parent's role basically because they can't really connect with their child with it being on. And so that was kind of like two main issues I had with the robot in terms of the plot and like because they had to create a toy to beat all other companies, and it just seems like a generic and simple plot that I was just mad about because it was just so frustrating to see that all they cared about was money. And they, especially the aunt, she just didn't really care about anything else. Once it hit the line, it's like, okay, I know I want to keep my job, so I better get this robot in front of an audience no matter what. And so that was very frustrating. But what was even more frustrating is they wanted to create a conference at the end to promote Megan, to show what she can do. Um, and just like the trailers, she killed, I think, the CEO and like the marketing guy, or the assistant, whatever. And so she left, and then the conference is over, but it didn't really matter because it's like, oh, no one showed up, and it basically is dead now. And so I'm guessing there might be a Megan 2, but I'm probably not, considering about the sales of this movie. But yeah, that was kind of like a frustrating part because it didn't really matter what the company did. It was still going to play out in the end no matter what, where Megan just kills in the end to protect, I think, Alice. And so that was kind of like my main gripes about the company. It's like, yeah, the guy was a total dick. They only cared about money. Um, yeah, so we'll see. And then in the end, um, Megan turns out kind of like a Chucky almost, where it's like they had part of the hair. And so basically, what happens is that um, I think she had like a memory core that kind of like the brain, and then Alice stabbed the screwdriver through the brain. So that's what happened to her, Megan. And then the aunt and niece recover at the end, and then EMS shows up. But I'm really mad because I wanted the movie to go further and say, okay, you created a robot without boundaries. It's your own fault because you didn't code this thing well. So you should be arrested. And Alice should go to another company. I know she'll be sad, but it's your own fault because you created this. It's all your fault because you designed this in a way that she can kill no matter what based on the kid's emotions. Now, the kid should not be happy forever. That's kind of the point of the movie, is that you need to deal with your feelings and that you need to go through hard times because not everything is going to be right. They said a line where it's like, oh, you should, if there are any problems or any people in your way, you can just eliminate them and the world will be better. This actually reminded me of another quote from the movie Freedom Writers, which is another great movie, not an action movie, but just like a good feel type movie. Anyways, where it's like, oh, we should just, during the Holocaust, people just wiped out people, whatever, because they didn't like how they were treating them. So they're just like, yeah, I don't like you, so you're dead. Anyways, that was kind of like the point of this movie, is that you should just ignore the problems and wipe it out. You should face them head on and deal with the problems yourself. But the aunt just didn't like. I don't think she deserved any I think she deserved repercussions and she deserved the full justice system because of what she did. It was her code and her robot. Now, in terms of everyone else, I don't really. The CEO deserved to die. Alice, I'll talk about her in a minute in terms of her character, but I feel like she could have just been transferred to another family, and this could have never happened. I know, because the aunt didn't really want her. And so it was a whole idea of that, like, I need to protect her, and yet I kind of don't want her. So it just didn't make sense. And so lastly, I want to talk about Alice. I think that's the niece, the daughter. And she was the best part about this movie. Her acting was amazing, in my opinion. She did a great, because she was silent in the beginning, and then she went up and she became vocal about stuff, and she talked more. And in the end, she had no fear. She was like, okay, I'm going to beat up this robot. I'm not scared of her. And she is amazingly dead. And so I liked the final fight because it was like Alice actually was a badass, and I loved it because She beat up the robot, and she was amazing at what she did because oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing the of how brave she was at the end. I mean, that was the best part about that movie is just Alice. I don't really care about it, so those are kind of like the main issues I had with this movie. I have a whole rant about it because there's a lot to discuss. It's not really a horror movie per se because yeah, it had like three lame jump scares, um, three or four, but I mean, it just wasn't. It didn't appeal to me. I mean, it was good. It had good action. It had, but the plot and everything about it was so predictive. I knew what was going to happen from the beginning, and it was just, yeah. I mean, especially when it has no boundaries from protect from emotional and physical damage, whatever the cost. Come on, like that's literally any AI in the world will destroy to protect that main person. And so there's a primary and secondary user that they have to pay attention to, but anyone else they don't care about at all. And so it's very interesting that they learn and you have to destroy at the same time. And so it was very predictive, and I just didn't really like it because of that. There are some redeeming qualities about the movie, but it wasn't that great a movie. So if you guys want to see this movie, don't. I say just watch it on a streaming service later on because honestly, this wasn't one of my favorite movies. I just saw it because I wanted to go with my family. They saw a different movie, but I wanted to go with my family, and they paid for my ticket, so I was very thankful. But overall, I would give this movie around a 6.5 out of 10. Very, very low in my opinion. Very good action, and great acting from Alice. Those are the redeeming qualities in the movie. But it just lacked in so many departments where just like it was predictive, it just lacked substance because there's there's nothing to be done in the movie, and it was just like, okay, I knew this was gonna happen. I mean, I could have left to go to a bathroom break for 20 minutes and not miss the thing. So that's my final review: a 6.5, 7 out of 10, or sorry, 6.5 out of 10. And so, if you guys want to see this movie, just don't. Just wait until it comes on the streaming service. From a guy who's like a huge horror fan, Black Mirror fan, I knew this was coming, and I knew it was easily predictable from the start. So hopefully you guys are doing well, and I have a great pickups video coming to you guys next week. Stay tuned for that because I've been collecting a lot, and I will see you guys later. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and peace out, and just lots of love and respect to you guys. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.